At Subway, start your day the flavorful way by adding new guacamole to your favorite breakfast sandwich. Perfectly made with a hint of jalapeno, our guacamole turns up the flavor to your breakfast. Try it today on a hot and toasty egg, white, and cheese. Subway, eat fresh.
The B.S. Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects. The B.S. Report. The B.S. Report with Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the B.S. Report, taping this on the Monday before Christmas. I'll be there in your house on Christmas. We have 5 games, including 2 on ABC. The first 3 are not good games. The last 2 are good. The 2 ABC games are Oklahoma City at New York, and then Miami at the Lakers. And the Lakers' best player is either Pau Gasol or Xavier Henry. So that could be a long afternoon. Not a long afternoon right now for a very happy Cousin Sal. What's happening?
Let me just say you broke your previous record of 2.8 seconds promoting an NBA game on an NFL podcast with 1.75 seconds. So congratulations to you. Forget about my Cowboys.
Thank you. I have a very high QBR right now. Yeah, so Romo, did that game ultimately, if you lost that game and the Eagles won, Week 17 would have meant nothing, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would have been it. Yeah, we look, I had it exactly how I wanted it. Romo, clutch touchdown throw, it was all nicely laid out. Miraculous 4th and goal from the 11 after a hilarious 10-yard loss on 3rd and goal from the 1. All Kirk Cousins has to do is drive the Skins down and kick a field goal, and now it's not Romo's fault. And now we're subjected to another agonizing flex game, which I don't think we've ever won a flex game, Cowboys. And, Romo will likely be blamed, even though McCoy has 7 touchdowns or something like that. So I'm ready for it to end.
Well, maybe if you win this flex game, you could name your baby that's coming very soon, Flex Iacono.
Oh, Flex is not a bad name.
Flex is really kind of strong.
I really like that.
Talk to the missus.
Pretty good.
I feel like because Dallas won the game,
the
3rd and 1 where Murray ran backwards for 10 yards is going to get lost in the course of history. Nobody will remember it 5 years from now, but I'll always remember it. It's always going to be special for me. I've never seen anything like it. It was incredible.
Spectacular. And Romo even at one point was like, "Oh, should I block? Is there a way he comes around the right?" Forget it. What do we do? What are we doing here? But
that's true. The play itself, it's like the one rule that everybody's kind of learned over the years is don't run a slow developing pseudo sweep run play.
Yeah.
On 3rd and 1, just kind of hit the line hard, and worst case scenario, you get tackled.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Yeah. So
very surprising that we came back from that. I didn't expect that at all. But
you didn't expect it at all. The Redskins are awful.
I know, but when the team plays with intensity, like I was laughing about how intense the Redskins were playing for a 3-11, now 3-12 team against us, and especially in that second half. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, right? I mean, we'll get to the Lions in a minute, but this team's done, isn't it?
It seems like all these teams are done.
Yeah.
The Seahawks looked horrendous yesterday. They were the de facto number 1 overall seed. They were the favorite. They literally couldn't get a first down. As
a gambler heading into the playoffs, or at least into Week 17, you want to be able to depend on a couple teams, right? And I don't think you can with any of these. I mean, even Denver now losing Von Miller, huge. We could talk till we're blue in the face about Peyton Manning's record, but Von Miller out, that could cost them the Super Bowl title. In the AFC, the Chargers have the biggest win streak at 3 games. No one wants that 6th spot.
No.
What are the Colts, Chiefs? Who's good? Who could put together 2 games in a row? Even Philly, as great as they look, relax. You gave up over 40 to Minnesota last week, so I don't know what to think.
I've had it with football, and I'm starting not to like it, other than the Patriots. But just from a gambling standpoint, Seattle yesterday, they're home. The whole reason to pick them is because Carson Palmer's banged up and Larry Fitzgerald's coming off a concussion, and it just seems like it's going to be a turnover frenzy for Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
You just feel great about that. All right, Carson Palmer will turn the ball over 4 times, and they'll win by 20. Carson Palmer does turn the ball over 4 times. He throws 4 interceptions, and they win. It just makes no sense. I'm tired of it. We should have taken the underdog money lines week after week after week. That should have been the gambling strategy this year.
I was flipping back games, and I see Seattle at the 1-yard line, and they don't score, and then a field goal clinks against the goalpost. And, we had Seattle on the 3-team teaser, and and you called me. You were a mess after that game.
I was?
Yeah, you were a real big mess.
I thought I went right to the Clippers game. I thought I shook it off.
No. Well, not before you made this call. Hold on. Here's how it went. I have it here. Cousin Sal, the sportsish guy here, sitting here drinking eggnog out of an Ugg boot. Doesn't get worse than that. And I got my reasons. I just watched my boyfriend Russell Hustle and Bustle Man Muscle Wilson throw an interception that hit the guy's arm, but kind of hit the ground, but then hit his tricep again. But anyway, it ended up costing me and you dozens and dozens of thousands your majesties on the 3-team teaser. And you know what that means? No Christmas gift for Russell Man Muscle. No sexy kitten outfit I had on layaway at the Victoria's Secret. No edible handcuffs and no matching chocolate-covered blow-up doll in my likeness. No. Hey, what are you looking at, elf on a shelf? I'll slap you in your freaking head. Look at that weirdo puppet laughing at me. I'll slap you so bad you'll give birth to a red-headed stepchild on acid or something like that. I said, don't look at me. What do you think you're doing?
Oh, wow.
And then the phone went dead. I heard a dial tone, which is odd coming from a cell phone. I don't know what happened to you there.
Sound effects. That was really something.
You beat up the elf on the shelf.
I did. I got mad.
That's terrible.
Hey, speaking of beating up, you thought about tinkering with the finals of the league that you got kicked out of and going online.
I did it.
You didn't end up doing. Oh, you did it?
I did do it. Yeah. Problem is, it didn't create as much chaos. So I got voted out of the league, and unprecedented. They left it up to the league to vote. Usually, it's supposed to be one person. So I got voted out, and 2 guys in the finals were 2 of the fellas who gave me the boot. So it was Alien versus Predator. I don't care who wins out of these 2. It's Damashek and Cohorst. And so I decided. I asked you. I was like, should I change just one of the players' lineups slightly, or should I change both of them, just go crazy and try to create chaos? And you said I should change both, and I did. I changed 3 from each team, and I had backups in there, like Cecil Stewart, like guys that never should have been in a championship game. Right. But they caught on about. I did this at 9:57. I went on because I could access the commissioner tools, and they caught on about 10:25. So it wasn't too bad. It's just not my year. I can't get anything right with that.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, the guy who's gonna win our league, Paul Cohurst, a listener of the BS Report, so hello to him.
Yeah.
So his strategy this year was basically, I think Denver's gonna score a lot of points. That was his strategy. He got Peyton Manning.
Yep.
He got Thomas. He got both Thomases. He got Welker.
Mm-hmm.
And that strategy worked because Peyton Manning threw for 51 touchdowns in 16 games.
Yeah, he did.
And then turned it on last year. And for the record, really, really kind of poured it on there for touchdowns 50 and 51 in a game that was no longer in doubt. I'm just saying, if the 07 Pats had done that, people their panties would have been in a bunch.
I think you're right, but I was trying to think, did he do that because they were planning on sitting him in week 17? But he had to know that.
Maybe.
I don't know. If New England had lost, that would have worked, right? That was their early game. New England played a little later. That's the only reason I would cut him some slack. But yeah, he did.
No.
He did rear back and embarrass that Texans team.
He was trying to get rid of the record so that if the Pats lost, he wouldn't have to play in week 17. Well, now they have to win that game.
Yes.
And Manny now has a chance for 5,500 yards and 55 TDs.
Wow.
That's insane. And even more amazing, Matthew Stafford has a chance for like 4,800 yards, and he's sucked for 6 weeks.
Yeah, he's been really bad.
I feel like that. I don't know if we're going to be able to take these numbers seriously, like historically.
Well, what did they say? I think I read something like 7 years ago, 2006.
Peter King wrote that.
Yeah. Did Manning lead the league with 31 touchdown passes?
Something like that, yeah.
And like Dalton has 31. Like there's a bunch with the. Yeah, we live in a different time, Bill.
Yeah, in 06, Manning had 31. Carson Palmer was second with 28.
Wow.
And now this year, how many people have thrown for 28? 6. Well, Roethlisberger's going to get there. Nick Foles and Russell Wilson could get there, and Brady could get there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Nick Foles has 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
I know, higher QBR than Manning.
That's ludicrous.
His last bad game was against the Cowboys, and everyone remembers it now as for USC quarterback Matt Barkley coming in and blowing that game for the Eagles. But they weren't even close to scoring against the Cowboys that game. That was an enigma amongst like 45 enigma games this year. Josh McCown.
Mm-hmm. 13 TDs, 1 pick.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers, 15 TDs, 4 picks, and then got hurt, but he would have been in the 30s too. But yeah, I will say, though, the distance between Manning and everybody else is pretty crazy. He's got 51. The next guy's got 35.
Wow.
So you got to hand it to him for that. And, you know, for somebody who never seems to throw the ball hard, it is crazy how he keeps floating them in there. So Brady in 07 had 50, and the next guy had 36, your friend Tony Romo.
Can I just, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by a text my wife, and I swear on my kids, I just got this. I'm 2 centimeters dilated. We scheduled the inducement. You check in the night before, so we would check in the evening of the 29th and deliver the 30th.
What does that mean?
That means Cowboys-Eagles the evening of the 29th.
Oh, that's great. That's a brilliant move by her.
I just got this. She has no idea what she's doing.
No, that's brilliant by her. She knows exactly what she's doing, and I think it's her ultimate revenge.
Really?
Yeah.
But does this mean they win? No way, right? I just missed them losing, right? That's insane.
I'm trying to think. Now. I think it might be good for you.
Yeah.
Like, put it this way: the other ways weren't working.
Yeah, that's
so why
true.
not try to have a kid there in the game? That might work.
We'll switch it up. Yeah, you're right.
It's good. Well, if they win this game, you have to have a kid every year.
Every year
for week 17.
You know what? It's so worth it. It's so worth it. There's plenty of Cowboys to name these kids after. I'll do it.
So what if DeMarcus Ware has like 7 sacks? Do you name the kid DeMarcus?
I like that too. Great. I really like Flex though. I have to say.
I think your wife.
It's not Fletch and it's not Rex.
Flex Iacona was great.
Yeah, it's not a dog's name, but you know.
It's really good. I think your wife by the second week of January is going to hate you more than just about any wife has ever hated their husband.
Yeah,
it's going to be unbelievable. When you check out that first weekend of the round 1 games, when she's had the kid like 4 days before, it's going to be just magnificent.
When I'm leaving the kids back, the other 2 kids, and taking off the Shakies for our banquet to celebrate a season I wasn't even involved in fantasy.
To celebrate a year that you got kicked out of. I have a dramatic announcement myself, actually.
Go ahead.
This is my last year playing fantasy football.
This is the 2017 podcast.
This is really it. I really had it.
Why? You made a great trade. You did nice things this year. You got Josh Gordon.
Had it.
No?
Well, basically, I built both teams around Aaron Rodgers, who decided not to play for the last 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Because he had a fractured collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
So the good news is that I just want to follow the Pats. I don't need this fantasy crap. It's just stupid.
I think about that, and then I'm thinking, like, maybe I should just not follow the Cowboys and only do fantasy and report on
go the other way.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to go. Well, you have a nice, solid team there. It doesn't really screw up. Doesn't, take dumb head-to-head penalties 10 seconds after a guy's tackled.
I love this Patriots team.
Yeah.
I was talking about it with some friends today. I think if you made a list of the top 12 guys we had in April, now we're missing 8 of the 12 now.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
I might have missed somebody, but in April, Brady, Wilfork, Gronkowski, Mayo, Hernandez, Mankins, Solder, Vollmer, Talib, Devin McCourty, Shane Vereen, and Rob Ninkovich. Those are our best 12 players unless you want to count Gostkowski.
Well, not to mention Amendola was supposed to save this team.
Right.
It didn't exactly set the world on fire.
Right. But, I mean, Julian Edelman kind of did what we thought Amendola was going to do. But right now, of those 12 guys we listed, 8 of them did not play in the fourth quarter of yesterday's game.
Wow.
We only have 4 left. We have Brady left. We have Talib. We have Ninkovich. And Mankins.
You got that scary look now to you. You're scoring over 40 when you shouldn't be. On the road. That's fun going into going
You know
into
what
the
I like
playoffs.
is they were really physical in that game yesterday. It was like an old school mid-2000s Pat's performance. But the Miller thing is the biggest thing that happened, though, because Denver's defense was already like kind of looked like it was fading pretty big. But at least Miller was in there like creating havoc and doing stuff, and now he's out. Then we lost Wofork and Mayo. The Bengals lost Geno Atkins and Leon Hall. So probably the best 5 defensive players on the 3 top seeds in the AFC.
You could win in Denver. Cincinnati could win in Denver. I don't know about the other teams, but that's a good enough start, I think.
Well, all three of those teams could score 40 points in a playoff game.
Right.
Cincy's got 40 4 times in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So, what's weird is Arizona's probably playing. Arizona's defense is probably playing as well as anybody right now.
Yeah.
And they're not going to make the playoffs, barring a miracle.
Right.
Which is too bad, because I feel like in the AFC they'd probably be the favorite.
10-5 in that division, where you have even the Rams were good this year. Even they didn't roll over. But
well, did you see the stat? The NFC West teams against anybody outside their division are 39-10 right now.
Wow. Now they play. I think when we did our preseason over/unders, I said the AFC South is going to suffer because they play the NFC West, and I think 3 of those teams went under.
We thought the NFC West was going to be good. We thought the NFC South was going to be good, and it turned out only one of them was good.
Now, conversely, NFC North, worst division winner, worse than whoever wins Cowboys Eagles. No.
I like the way the Eagles are playing more than any NFC North team.
The Lions
should be ashamed, though.
Eagles get a 3 seed if the Packers win.
The Lions had the most talent in that division, though. Like, that was a coaching malpractice. He stinks.
He could. I know they don't celebrate unemployment in Detroit, but that he could go. They'll be okay with that, right?
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
I was looking up their coaches yesterday. I tweeted a couple of the records. So if he gets fired, that's their 13th coach since 1965. The last 12 coaches they hired before Schwartz, none of them went on to coach another team.
I saw that. That's insane.
It's like impossible.
Yeah. Everyone gets a second chance in this league.
Yeah.
Now, who do you give, before we move on, who do you give Coach of the Year to? Because that's logjam, too. I saw odds that Andy Reid was like 1-3 or something.
I don't agree with that. First of all, he got left a stacked team. He's following Romeo Crennel. And then on top of it, like, who have their injuries been? They haven't had any. Have they lost anybody major?
No.
I mean, they got a full year out of Charles.
They had a couple of weeks where they went without their defensive players.
Yeah, I guess. But
Tom Ali and was Johnson. Who was hurt?
Yeah, easy schedule. They haven't really had a lot of strife.
Yeah. So who do you give it to? Maybe Ron Rivera.
I would say either Ron Rivera or Belichick.
Yeah.
I probably would vote for Ron Rivera just because it really seemed like that team was going to pancake, and it went the other way. And when he started going for it on 4th down, and I think he's turned Newton into a guy who can have a game and still rally like he did yesterday and have one big drive.
I couldn't believe in what world, and that this worked out. On the other side of 2 minutes, Saints have 2 timeouts, and they punted. Wasn't it 4th and 3 from the 38?
They played scared.
I was shocked.
It's funny because they didn't play scared the first 3 quarters. Like, they did the onside kick. They took some chances. But I thought they played scared in the last 2 drives.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't like it. Especially, it was almost like they didn't think Carolina could drive on them. And they just wanted to protect their lead.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They thought when Steve Smith went out, it did seem like it was going to be impossible for the Panthers to score.
Now, it might be tough for them later on. But, I mean, if you're the Saints and you're looking at 2 guys of 38 combined tackles and Kuechly and Davis, what do you have to come up with something better offensively?
I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent. It wasn't obviously a high-scoring game, but it was so physical, and Kuechly was just unbelievable. He was just all over the place. Him and Davis, I've never seen anything like it with those 2 guys.
Here's how you know he's good. Our fathers are starting to pronounce his name right.
Right.
He's coming into the forefront.
That's true. It's like when people started being able to spell Dwayne Wade's name correctly.
Yeah.
You knew magical stuff was happening.
NBA
Carolina has I guess an outside chance at the 1 seed, right? Seattle's playing.
No, Seattle beat Carolina.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So they can only get the 2 seed
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason Seattle hasn't clinched is because Sam Frank could technically catch them, but none of those teams are going to lose.
That turned out to be a really telling game, that 12-7 week 1 game.
Yeah.
It was real physical. I remember watching that game and thinking it was super physical, but it didn't seem like Carolina could just do anything offensively.
Yeah, I remember thinking, what's wrong with Seattle, that they can't kill this team?
Right.
Yeah.
And now we know.
Right.
Anyway. All right, let's do the week 17 lines. Once again, no Saturday games.
No, nothing yet. No Saturday, no Monday. I think do you remember a time where all 16 games were played in one day?
Well, they never have the Monday week 17. But maybe they stopped last year and I just didn't notice, but I always thought there were Saturday games week 17.
They had to be Saturday games. I don't remember this. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
They're doing a bad job. I can tell you that much. I would have loved to have a Saturday game on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That would have been great. Who would have been against that?
I don't know. ESPN has bowl games. I know they have 4 bowl games next Monday, including Oregon, Texas, but it's going to be exhausting. I don't like watching 16 games at once, 8 in the morning and 7 in the afternoon. But
so you think they did it because of college?
Well, yeah. I mean, as far as Monday, I guess they never play a Monday, but ESPN has 4 games Monday night. And
yeah, last year they had a week 16 Saturday game.
Yeah.
And
I know they complained about the ratings when they used to have the Saturday afternoon games. No one would watch because they were like Christmas shopping or something or whatever. I guess this week it wouldn't matter. But
no. Last year everything was in one day.
It was?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember.
All right. We'll survive. Carolina at Atlanta.
You know, last year you guys lost the NFC East title, the Redskins.
Well, you know,
totally
the
forgot
fans
that.
should be able to vote whether or not they want a game flex, because I almost rather play this on the road than play this on a Sunday night as a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, you can. Collinsworth just brings back lots of bad memories now.
Enough already. I know, between the two of them. But on the other hand, they'd be screwed, NBC. There's no other game that definitely will mean something by Sunday night.
I think a vote would have been fantastic. I don't know why NBC didn't do that. They could have charged everybody like a quarter a vote.
Right.
And I really, if I had a vote, I would have rather have seen Packers-Bears if Rodgers was coming back.
That would be fun. Either way.
I think it'd be phenomenal if the Packers won the title, won the division, going 8-7-1 with no Rodgers for 7 weeks. Are you kidding me?
I like it.
All right, let's do it.
Carolina at Atlanta.
Week 17. I'm beating you by a week.
8-7-1.
Yeah.
So, and we continue through the playoffs, but I need this. This is basically who did more research on what teams need it more. So let's see.
We were just as mediocre as the league itself.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'm glad we rose to the or didn't rise to the occasion. All right, what's the first one?
Carolina at Atlanta.
I have the Panthers giving 8 points in Atlanta.
All right, we split it. I said 6, and it's exactly 7 as of now.
That's a tease.
I would like this as a potential upset if Atlanta wasn't playing on a short week.
I think it would be funny if Tony Gonzalez every year just kept coming back after saying he was going to retire.
Right. Yeah, let's see how big they get on that. Carolina won 34-10 the first meeting. Houston at Tennessee.
I had trouble with this one.
Yeah, me too.
I had the Titans by 8.5. I don't feel good about it though.
8.5. I said 5.5, and it's 6.5.
You get it.
So I get that one. So 2-1. And thank you two. Thanks for playing. 2 worst teams to bet on all year. Bet on or against. So.
No, the Rams have to be in that conversation.
The Rams?
Who could guess what the Rams were going to do every week?
I guess so. Yeah, they had 5 double-digit losses and wins.
They win my weirdo gambling team award.
These 2 teams can go to hell too, though. Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Really great loss by the Browns yesterday. I totally appreciate it. They were up 10-0. And then just decided to.
But they're going to go down as having a good season. They've had 4 wins since like mid-July, right? And they've stayed on that. But they'll have a better season than whoever doesn't make the 6th seed out of Miami, Baltimore, San Diego, right? They pulled off the huge trade, and there's some hope in their future.
Well, the irony is, if Trent Richardson had been really good, they would have been a playoff team.
Yeah, that's true.
And instead he stunk. But they somehow threw for over 4,000 yards, which is amazing.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That division didn't get worse. I think we both thought that division was going to get worse. And, 3 teams vying for playoff spots in Week 17.
Josh Gordon, 120.3 yards a game, which puts him like in the top 3 all time. And if he can get to he would add to 14 games times 14 times 13 is he needs to get
18-20.
He needs to get about 250 yards this last game to break the Wes Chandler record.
Wow. I don't know.
Keep an eye on that one.
And this is a must-win for Pitt, obviously, at least early on in the day.
So I got Steelers by 8.
You said 8?
Yeah.
I said 8.5. It's 7. That should be a little higher.
Well, the Browns stay in these games, though.
I guess if we were to bet the Jets thinking the Browns are in tank mode, and then you get nervous when, Campbell drops back and throws along to Josh Gordon. It doesn't really matter, right? You only need a couple of those plays to win.
I got to say, I think Roethlisberger's been great this year. I really enjoyed watching him these last 6-7 weeks. Just like total old school, just great leader.
Throwing through terrible weather.
Yeah, he's playing in bad weather every week. He takes big hits. I just enjoy him. I enjoy watching him.
What was the crazy game? Oh, they lost to Miami. I think they would have been in the driver's seat had they won that like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, if you're making a list of the top 12 teams now, they're probably on it.
Yeah.
I think they're on it and Arizona's on it.
I agree. Washington at the Giants.
I hate this Giants team. How are they 6-9? Are you kidding me?
They won 24-17 a few weeks ago on that Sunday night.
They're going to finish 7-9? I have the Giants by 3.5.
Why so low? I said 6.5, and it's 4, and you're going to get this. But why weren't they giving Washington 3 in Washington 3 weeks ago, whatever?
They're just 2 bad teams. Kirk Cousins has been pretty good. He keeps them in these games.
I got job there, I think. All right, Baltimore at Cincinnati.
If you were Griffin, would you stay on the sideline or would you go to a suite?
I go to an embassy suite. I'd have nothing to do with this team. I don't know. I don't know. I would go. I'd go where they can't show you rolling your eyes every 8 minutes.
I would either go to a suite or I would dress in full uniform with the eye shield so nobody could see me at any point.
Right.
Nobody could see my eyes, my facial expressions, anything.
Yeah, that's good.
He's a better man than me. I'd be such a dick right now if I were him. I'd be like,
well, look, you beat up Elf on the Shelf, of course.
I did. It's been a rough week.
Yeah. What do you think of this? Baltimore at Cincy.
I got I have the Bengals by 6.
Okay, we
think
split it. I said 7 and then 6.5.
That's another tease.
So that's that.
I will say, after watching that Pats game, first of all, terrible job by me picking games this year. I didn't even know Flacco was hurt when I made my Friday picks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I should fire myself. It's just terrible. I just had no idea. I didn't see that game. I was at an NBA game. See, I'm an NBA hole.
Oh, that's surprising. Wow. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't see Ravens-Lions.
Almost like you ditched the season. Wow.
I read about it. Well, when you're out of contention, you lose interest.
Your team is good. Your Patriots are good. What are you talking about out of contention?
When my picks are out of contention, I lose interest.
On. Your Celtics are more out of contention than your Patriots.
No, not the Patriots. My picks.
I know.
All I care about is whether the Patriots win. My fantasy stinks. My picks stink.
All right.
But Flacco did not look good last week.
He hasn't looked good all year, but that team is just like when Ray Rice can't convert a short 4th down, and there's a lot of bad things going on in that game.
Yeah, that wasn't a 41-7 game, but it was probably like a 24-7 game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Jacksonville at Indy.
I don't trust Andy Dalton, and I'm not allowing you to talk me into putting him in OTs.
Really?
No, you're not doing it.
They're scoring points by accident, though.
They really are.
They can move up to Patriots aren't going to lose this week, but they'll probably get a 3, right?
Remember that Browns game when the Browns in Cleveland, it looked like they were going to beat them. It was like 13-0, and then within 5 minutes, the Browns had done 7 dumb things, and all of a sudden the Bengals were winning by 20, and Andy Dalton hadn't done jack.
Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm saying: if they get the 3rd seed, I don't like any of these potential 16. Maybe Pittsburgh could go to Cincy and beat them, but I think after 2 years of going to the Texans in the first round, Cincy's ready to win a round 1 game.
If you were me, would you rather play, assuming the Pats win this weekend, would you rather play the Bengals in round 2 at home, or would you rather play the Colts in round 2 at home?
Oh, the Colts. The Colts. I know they're coming on and laying low under the radar a little bit, but I don't like the Bengals that they put up 40
I think I'd slightly rather play the Bengals.
You'd slightly rather play the Bengals?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm afraid of luck. I'm not afraid of Andy Dalton. Like, I don't feel like Andy Dalton. This would be great if this comes back to haunt me, but I really doubt Andy Dalton comes into New England and just wins the game. Like, it would have to be like one of those games they keep winning where a lot of weird shit happens.
Maybe. He's gotten better. The fact that they've done it without the best defensive players is pretty surprising, but
I feel like luck could come in and beat us.
Wow.
It'd just be the best guy in the field and beat us.
Was that last year he went to Baltimore and was just like, couldn't complete
they
a
overwhelmed them. Yeah, they overwhelmed them.
Right. All right, well, they're home against Jacksonville this week. I hit this one exactly.
I did too. I'm guessing I hit this exact. I have Colts by 9. I think that's the answer.
10.5.
10.5.
10.5.
You're going to beat me.
Team number 1 in our first 3-team teaser losing.
You know, ever since the Colts started playing Donald Brown, their offense looks okay.
Yeah.
It goes to show you how bad Trent Richardson was. But Donald Brown actually does stuff.
He catches passes.
Did you watch that game?
What?
Colts Chiefs? Did you have that one on?
Oh, did I watch? No, not too much. A little bit.
They beat the Chiefs. That was a legitimate, they won the game. That wasn't like, oh, that was stupid, weird stuff. That was like, they just went in, they played better, and they beat them. I was impressed.
I guess so. Yeah, no, but you've watched more of it than I did. But how motivated can the Chiefs team get for all these games that don't mean anything? I mean, I've never seen a team locked into a 5th spot so early in the season.
Well, they weren't necessarily, I guess maybe mentally they knew the Broncos weren't going to lose the last 2. But it was still pretty good. Jets
at Dolphins. I hit this one exactly, too.
I put this in the Vegas zone. Dolphins by 5.5.
A little higher than that. 7. I had 7.
That's a little too high.
Yeah, that could go either way. The only thing is they manhandled them. I watched a lot of that game, 23-3 in New York.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Dolphins O-line yesterday looked terrific, though.
Mike, how do you score 0 in a must-win? I don't care you're going to Buffalo. You're not playing Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, and Pete Metzelaars. This is the 2013 Buffalo Bills.
Hey, Doug, you have got to learn how to block. You have to learn how to block.
It's preposterous, Mike. Preposterous.
The Bills and the Browns might have been better than their records.
Yeah.
Like, the Bills had these games where their defense looks like borderline dominant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
Bills, Browns, Tampa Bay Bucks I thought were better.
Right. The Rams would have these games where they looked awesome.
Tennessee,
it was a weird year.
It was a weird year. Detroit at Minnesota.
Oh. This is a loser leaves town match for the coaches.
Yeah, you're right.
They should hang the belt over the field. Lions by 3.
You're gonna get this. Oh no, wait. No, see, I said Lions by 2. It's Vikings by 3.5.
The Vikings are favored by 3.5?
Vikings are favored by 3.5.
Why? That's bizarre.
Maybe because they're better.
I don't understand.
Maybe because they're better.
Oh,
Let me double check this, but I'm almost positive.
You sure?
Hold on.
That seems like way off.
I wanted this game to mean something. I wanted the Vikings. Now I don't know who's going to win this game, but if it had meant something to the Lions, I bet the Vikings would have won.
The coaches are going to get fired. It totally means something.
Yeah. Vikings by 3.5. Yep.
That is the strangest line of the year. I was 6 points off.
Yeah. All right, and that's the early games. Those are the 8 early games. So what's the best there?
Bengals, Ravens.
Baltimore, Cincy. Yeah, I guess. And not too many great ones. All right, now 7 late afternoon, Green Bay at Chicago for the NFC North title. No, actually, Sportsbook.com has odds on whether Rodgers will play 3-1 that he plays.
Is that true?
Yeah, and there's no line on the game. I would say -3 for Chicago or a pick if Rodgers does play.
Why did they stack Oh, so this is because they stack it with the late games to make sure all the late games mean something so that nobody mails in a game.
Right.
Is that why they do that?
That is why they do that. But they were saying...
So they put all the meaningless games first, or relatively meaningless games first?
There are no meaningless games in the late afternoon, right. There are some in the early batch, but...
Because the Pats could still get the 1 seed.
But KC San Diego could and probably won't mean anything late afternoon. Yeah, Pats could still get the 1. There's some shuffling in the AFC.
No, San Diego, does San Diego need the Steelers to...
They need everyone to lose.
But they can't make the San Diego game 10 o'clock. They didn't have a choice with that one.
Oh, right. I guess that's why, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Coast.
Anyway,
all
right.
Yeah, okay.
Late games.
The Green Bay at Chicago, I don't know if you want to... There's no line, but...
I would have said Bears by 2.5.
2.5 without Rodgers?
Without Rodgers.
Yeah. All right, Buffalo at New England.
What would you have said?
I said 3, and I say a pick if Rodgers plays. But they looked abysmal, the Bears. I still don't really understand that. I know the Eagles were playing for... Some of these coaches make curious decisions, I have to say. Chip Kelly, if someone would have gotten hurt in that game, we would have been like, what do you care if you get a 3 seed or a 4 seed? Does it really matter? Why were they playing those guys?
I will say if Rodgers is okay to play this week, I mean the Green Bay couldn't have played that more perfectly.
Yeah.
They sat him, he totally healed, and then all of a sudden now he's here in week 17.
Yeah.
And now they could potentially be the team that catches fire. I mean, Eddie Lacy has looked really, really, really good.
But now he's hurt, right?
Is he going to miss this next game?
I don't know. I think there were, MRIs and everything else going.
Oh, no.
Eddie Lacy and Keenan Allen. Who do you pick for Rookie of the Year?
Oh, ankle injury.
Yeah.
He'll play with that. They'll just shoot him up. I thought
How
Keenan
dare you?
Allen.
This is the NFL. They don't do things like that.
I'll tell you another thing. I think Von Miller comes back.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's back for round 2. He's
I think he plays
from an ACL injury.
In the intramural Pro Bowl game, but not in the playoffs.
I would say Keenan Allen. I thought he was great.
Phenomenal, huh?
Made me mad the Pats didn't take him.
And they needed two receivers to go down to showcase him, right?
Yeah.
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 That was good. All right, Buffalo at New England.
You know what? It shouldn't be higher. It shouldn't be double figures, but I think they're going to jack it up. I have Pats by 10. I don't agree with it.
We both had 10. It's 9.5.
Okay.
What do you mean? What don't you agree with? They're scoring 40 on the road.
I don't know if the Bills are that bad.
Well, let me ask you this. If Denver is up 17-3, if New England looks at the scoreboard and Denver's up 17-3 on the Raiders, New England could still lose a bye, right? They have to win, right?
Yeah, we have to.
They're not only playing for the 1 seed. They could still lose their bye, yeah.
Bills are 6-9, lost to the Pats by 2, lost to Cincy in OT, lost to the Chiefs by 10, lost to Atlanta in OT. They're not bad. They're a 500 team. They lost their quarterback for 5 weeks, and then he came back. He wasn't healthy.
23-21. That was opening week when you beat them, right? And you had to come back.
Yep.
What a year it's been for you. What you've had 12 heart attack games this year.
It really was. It was the Friday Night Lights season.
Yeah. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. By the way, I finished Friday Night Lights.
Good.
I loved it. It was a great series. I don't know if you have to follow her to Pennsylvania so she could be assistant dean. All of a sudden or actually the dean of some college in Pennsylvania. She was a volleyball coach 3 years ago, but
it was a flaw. It was a flaw in the show.
Yeah.
I also felt like maybe he gets a college job.
Yeah, somewhere, right? What do you have to do in Texas?
Win a couple state titles in Texas, you probably get a college job.
Yeah.
How it probably works.
Yeah. Tampa at New Orleans.
I have the Saints by 11.5.
Oh, man. You get it. It's 13. I said 11.
Yeah.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's no way the Bucks can beat them, right? It would be so much fun if the Bucks beat them.
I don't know if they have it in them to win games like that anymore. It would be fun, though.
I gotta say, I'd rather see the Cardinals in the playoffs than the Saints.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the Saints.
Well, only because they'd have to go on the road 4 times, right? And I don't know what happened, but they all of a sudden just cannot compete. I guess anyone could have won that game yesterday, the way it was played in the mud and everything, but
if you're going to make the nobody believes in us pecking order, the Saints are probably at the top because if they get in the playoffs, everyone will write them off because of the 4 road games thing.
Right.
It'll just be the narrative. Oh, forget them. They'll never win 4 in a row. And that's the nobody believes in us spark that a playoff team needs. I have my eye on the Saints.
Someone just needs to explain to me, like, why no one could cover Jimmy Graham, and now all of a sudden everybody can cover Jimmy Graham. Everybody's linebackers are fast enough to cover Jimmy Graham. I know Panthers linebackers are good, but first time they played, Jimmy Graham scored 2 touchdowns against the Panthers.
Isn't he hurt?
He scored yesterday, but he was putting up 130 yards. Like, it was impossible to miss. Gronkowski was all of a sudden just a decoy. What would you say? You know?
Listen, Jimmy Graham's on my East Coast fantasy team. I'm well aware of how his performance has declined. It's one of the reasons I'm quitting. It's why I've retired my announcement, and I'm out. I'm done. Who needs fantasy? Admit it. You didn't miss it this year. You
I actually
really missed
didn't miss it that much.
Of course you didn't, because it sucks. Nobody likes fantasy football.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks.
What's going on in our wins pool? That's the big thing. I think you're ahead of me now, right?
I had no, because Seattle lost yesterday and the Bears lost.
Oh, and who's your third team?
Buffalo won.
Oh, we're tied. We're tied going into the last week. This is where you pick 3 teams in a random.
So we're tied heading into the last week?
We're tied. Yeah, we were tied heading into this week, and we each had 1 win.
So who are your 3 this week?
It's going to be bad for me. I have San Francisco.
That's a win.
Oh, they might not need it. Kansas.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They might not need it.
Kansas City at San Diego, another meaningless game. It's just really a coin flip. And I have the Cleveland Browns, who I don't plan on winning again until, next September.
So I have the Seahawks. I have the Bears against the Packers. And then I have the Bills against the Pats.
The Seahawks are a definite. And I have 2 toss-ups.
Jesus. Well, wait a second. What about the guy who was right behind us?
I think he was 3 behind us. I think it was the 2 of us.
What if he got?
Oh, I didn't see. You're right.
What if he got? Who was behind? It was Horowitz was behind us, right?
Yeah. Let me see.
So he has Denver, Dallas, and the Jags. So he got 2. He's not going to catch us because you're losing.
And he's going to get.
You're going to lose as your wife is delivering your 3rd kid.
He's going to get 1 more next week.
You might not ever forgive this 3rd kid.
I really have to play this right because this could cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, you should probably just hedge $5,000 on the Eagles.
Really?
Just do that. Yeah.
No, I'm saying money in that she's going to file for divorce, and then. Yeah. So maybe I should hedge somehow. I don't know. All right, Denver at Oakland.
Oh boy.
Raiders under 5 wins. One of the few things we predicted correctly this year, except we had it on parlayed with other stuff that didn't win. So.
Yeah. Broncos by 11.
Yeah, you get it. It's 13. I went low. I said 9, but it's 13. Now, let me add these up because I'm getting scared here. 7 to 7, 4 games remaining. And Oakland, by the way, Joe House and I, we were like 40th, top 30. We had been bounced from the money in the Hilton pool. And we were 40th, top 30 get paid. And we were 3-0 yesterday. And we had the Raiders plus 10. And I don't know if you saw the Raiders last drive.
Oh, I had it. I saw it.
Oh, my God. That was devastating. That was like a 15-play drive where I swear they scored 3 times. And then the last play, incomplete pass, the fullback that my 5-year-old could have caught.
He dropped it. But it actually the whole thing looked fixed.
Yeah, it did, right?
If you were going to fix a game, it would look like that last drive.
Yep. Kept getting false start calls and everything.
So when there's a 30 for 30 at 10 years about the game fixing of that game, they'll play this podcast. They'll be like, one guy noticed.
Right.
No, but I mean, that was it was insane. I have no idea how they didn't score.
But even the touchdown they called back, or whatever, they called it incomplete. I hate that rule where you catch it in the field of play
it's
and
ridiculous.
Then pass the goal line. So that should be it, really. You got the nose of the ball over the line, possession, but you have to fall down with it. You have to, you have to be able to, you have to have possession all the way until the point where you hand it to the handicapped kid in the front row. I don't. It's no good.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
What happened to the days where you cross the goal line?
Right. If you catch it at the 2, just get over. Bad rule. All right, San Fran at Arizona.
I want you to know something.
Yeah.
All the money we lost in football this year,
Uh-huh.
we're going to make it back on Sweden in the Olympics for hockey.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're going to bet against America in hockey.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
We are?
Yeah, we're going to bet Sweden. We're going to ride the Rangers goalie, Lundqvist.
And then we're going to double up on Cameroon in the World Cup, and then we'll have money for September.
Yeah, isn't that his name, Lundqvist?
Yeah.
The Rangers goalie.
The goalie, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Fine.
We're riding that, dude. We're riding Team Sweden. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be like when we went on Argentina in 2004 in hoops.
All right, listen, I'll be living alone in a studio apartment in Van Nuys, so I'll have a lot of time to watch this stuff.
It's the worst sitcom ABC's ever produced.
San Fran at Arizona.
Oh, boy.
So Arizona needs New Orleans to lose, but they play at the same time, so it means something. San Fran.
You know, I'd have
Seattle
the Cardinals
lose,
favored.
What's that?
I have the Cardinals by 1.
Oh, that's wrong. Okay, I get that. It's I said San Fran by 1.5, and then San Fran by 3.
I don't agree with that line.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. San Fran won the first game 32-20, I think.
Arizona's defense is the best defense in the league right now, in this very moment.
Yeah. I throw my hands in the air there. That's a bad gambling game. Like you're going against a team on a short week versus a team who pulled off a huge upset hangover game. I don't know what you do there.
I don't know either.
Kansas City at San Diego. Most likely won't mean anything.
Hated this one too. I have Kansas City by 3. I don't feel good about it.
Miami wins and Baltimore loses this game. Well, I guess San Diego would need to win. Yeah, they'd be out of it, though. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I have KC by 3.
So you screwed this up.
Why?
Oh, wait, maybe I screwed this up. I have to look this up.
Why?
I had San Diego by 6 because it means nothing. Well, one of us is going to be right on.
Oh, I do this every year. There's one game where I don't realize that.
Good, I counted on this.
Yeah.
Counted on this. It's San Diego. Now, where is it now?
Well, it doesn't matter. You won because I had the Chiefs favored.
Hold on, wait.
More importantly, I found the Sweden odds. They're going to be 5-1 in the tournament.
Why, who got this in your head?
I just
San Diego by 10, by the way. That's the line on this game.
So I was off on that.
Yeah.
For some reason in my head, I was thinking the Chiefs had something at stake, but apparently not. Sweden 5-1.
Who's telling you this? Who's telling you?
The Russians are 9-4.
Uh-huh.
Canada's 5-2.
Right.
Sweden is 5-1. USA is 8-1. But Quick's been hurt. I don't know who their other goalie would be. The Czech Republic's 12-1. So yeah, Sweden 5-1. Sweden's good.
I mean, I'll accept the NBA, a lot of the NBA talk because they pay you, they give you a check every week. But when we're digressing to college pro hockey in February, I don't know.
First of all, they give me a check every 2 weeks. It's not every week.
Oh, forget it then.
What is better than betting on Winter Olympics hockey? In my opinion, nothing.
House seats 4? I don't know.
Okay.
Come up with something. St. Louis at Seattle. So if Seattle wins, they're the number 1 seed overall. NFC.
Seattle by 11.
I said 10.5, and it's 10. So I win the week, and we're 8-1 heading into the playoffs. There's no other way it should be.
We had to reflect the mediocrity of the league in general.
Right. Exactly. But let me say this about Seattle. I think losing at home was good for them yesterday. Because now they have a meaningful game. You don't want to play too many meaningless games heading into the playoffs. And then you have a bye, and then it'll have been 3 weeks since they've had to try. I think it's good. You don't agree?
It's not bad to get punched in the face in December one time. At least taste your own blood a little bit, get you remotivated, all that stuff. My fear with Seattle is how much trouble they've had scoring against good defenses.
Right.
And I think that's, I still think they have the best team, But Harvin never coming back was a big deal.
That was big. You would think you'd see Marshawn Lynch bust off a few 150-yard games by now.
Because the reality is they haven't played that many good teams this year.
Mm-hmm.
So they played Carolina in week 1. They scored 12 points.
Right.
They played the Niners in week 2. They scored 29, but their defense scored at least one TD in that one.
Oh, but everyone in their division's good, though, right?
Right. Well, so they put up 34 against Arizona. That was the best they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And then 17 against San Francisco and 10 last week.
Right.
That's not great.
Yeah, I mean, compared to last December where they were scoring like 40 and 50,
right.
They were a scary team.
Wilson's thrown for 31.85.
Mm-hmm.
Lynch's rushed for 11.60. They don't have a receiver over 800 yards right now. They don't have a receiver with more than 5 touchdowns.
That's your boy, Wilson. You think I don't know, there's just something missing. You see him scramble for 15 yards for a big first down. You don't get that much anymore. But
who's the number 4 Seahawks receiver right now for receiving yards?
Zach Miller, the tight end?
No, Zach Miller's 3rd.
Oh, he's 3rd?
Yeah.
Baldwin? I don't even know. Who is it?
Jermaine Kearse.
Oh, Jermaine Kearse.
Yeah. That's trouble.
Yeah, it's not good. They needed Harvin. And then finally, Philly at Dallas, Sunday night, a game I'm probably going to miss. And preemptively, I'll say I'm glad I did. What do you think?
Is there any way to parlay this with your wife's contractions?
We should do it.
I think the line should be 1.5, but I think Dallas gets sympathy money, and I think it's going to be Cowboys by 2.5.
Okay. I don't know what to think about this, because I said Dallas 1 would be fair. You say 2.5. Philly by 3 is the line. That is something.
Wow. That is just a lack of faith in Tony Romo and do-or-die games.
I guess
and with
so.
reason. And with reason.
What would it have been if, they squeaked it out yesterday against the Bears? I think that everyone's more impressed with the 40-plus point showing yesterday.
I'm stunned.
You think it's
usually
Tony
the
Romo?
Cowboys get a weird respect. That is crazy.
I know.
Eagles by 3.
3
Holy
on the
mackerel.
road.
Well, maybe you could do a little nobody believes in us.
I will eat the placenta if they somehow pull this game out. I'll do it.
It's healthy, supposedly.
Jimmy Kimmel Live's in reruns, but Orlando Bloom and Ronda Rousey tonight, Jason Schwartzman, Queen Latifah, Carrie Mulligan, Will Ferrell later in the week. Grantland column on Friday. Will there be a defensive or special teams touchdown in the Niners game tonight? Yes, there will be, as a matter of fact, plus 150. And
plus 150.
Plus 150, take it.
And Sweden 5-1.
Candlesticks, Sweden 5-1. Candlesticks first, the last game tonight. You know?
A lot of people think Russia wins because it's in Sochi.
Yeah.
I personally think too much pressure being at home.
All right, we're gonna have to look into this. What other good Winter Olympics are there that we could
I have a lot of thoughts on this. I really think we should go all out with the gambling in the Winter Olympics.
Fine.
I'd like to do figure skating, male and female. I'd like to do a couple downhill skiing bets. And what else do they have?
No, you don't have to. Curling,
Speed
we'll
skating.
do it all.
Oh, curling. We'll bet on the curler.
I don't care. To me, that's the worst 5 weeks between the Super Bowl and March Madness, the conference tournaments. I can't get through it. So, yeah, let's do this.
So it's great that we have the Olympics.
Yes. And then the summer, we'll have the World Cup. It's going to be nice.
Agree.
A lot of money to be lost.
All right, so the next time we talk to you, which will be a week from today, you might have a child.
It's looking good.
There's a chance that we don't have a podcast next week because your wife's in the delivery room.
I'll make it work. Don't worry about that.
All right. We don't necessarily have to do it on Monday the next week.
Well, I think we do because New Year's Eve is Tuesday, right?
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to do it Monday.
We'll do it. Maybe we'll do it Sunday night.
So maybe from the delivery room we'll do it.
I'll do it. I'll have my surgical mask on.
Good luck, cuz.
Thanks,
Talk
buddy.
to you soon. Good job by you.
Good job by you, Billy.
Before we go, I wanted to plug two things. First of all, the Grantland Quarterly, if you want to give that for a Christmas gift, you still can. Go to Grantland.com, click on the quarterly link, and you can mail it to any friend you have. And you even get a little video email that tells them that they got the gift. So check that out. And then also, our sponsor, Stamps.com, wanted to give them a brief message because there's still 2 days left here to mail your holidays gift. If you haven't been on Stamps.com, You can go to the top right of the site, put in the promo code BS, and you get a big deal on a whole bunch of stuff, including a scale and $50 plus off on postage, all that stuff. You don't need to go to the post office. Use Stamps.com. Make your office your own personal post office. And that's it. We have one more podcast coming tomorrow, NBA. Zach Lowe, Joe House, and some others. And then after that, we are off for the rest of Christmas. Enjoy the holiday, and we will talk to you tomorrow on the BS Report.
So I get to sign off. Whoa!
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNRadio.com.
Peace out.
Gotta say, Golick, great call on grabbing Subway for lunch and getting guacamole on our subs.
Told you this new guac really amps up the flavor.
Yep, something adding up things can be great. Guacamole on your sub, a new co-host to replace you.
What was that?
Oh, no, nothing.
Subway now has deliciously rich new guacamole made from ripe Hass avocados with just a hint of garlic, onion, and jalapeno. Discover how new guacamole turns up the flavor on any of your freshly made favorites. Subway, eat fresh.